The purpose of this video is to be able to label the vertex and identify it as a minimum or a maximum, label the axis of symmetry, the y-intercept, and the x-intercepts when your quadratic function is written in intercept form. And intercept form is when you have these two sets of parentheses, and those correspond to your x-intercepts. So first of all, let's do our vertex like we've been doing. So we click on the vertex, and we see that it's the point -1, -9. So we write that down over here, and we label that point. So -1, -9, and label that our vertex. And we notice that that is the lowest point on our graph, so that is a minimum. So we've labeled our vertex. We know that our axis of symmetry is the same as the x of our vertex. So we write the equation x equals -1 for the vertical line that goes through the vertex and divides the graph in half. And now we look up here and we notice that the y-intercept is the point right here, which is 0, -8. So we add that. And then we label that our y-intercept. So now we have our vertex, which is a minimum, our axis of symmetry, and our y-intercept. And here are our two x-intercepts. So I'm going to do this one first. And that is the point -4, 0. And I'm going to label that my x-intercept. And then my other x-intercept is the point here, which is 2, 0. So I'm going to label that one. And so now I have my x-intercepts, my y-intercept, my vertex labeled. My vertex is a minimum, and I have my axis of symmetry. Notice my x-intercepts were -4, which is the opposite of this number, and 2, which is the opposite of this number. This is why this is called intercept form, because it tells us our x-intercepts. And remember, as we've learned before, when the numbers are in parentheses like this, it's the opposite. So it would be a -4 and a +2, which is exactly what we see down here. On this one, if you were asked about the increasing and decreasing levels, remember your axis of symmetry divides it, and then you just look at your x-axis. So from -infinity to -1, I am decreasing, and over the interval -1 to +infinity, my graph is increasing.